Happy Bee Free Friday!
Hi!
We are actually doing a video today from the top of Kennesaw Mountain. Whoop! And I'm going to say what I just said in our first take. Like, I keep wanting to look over here so I can see me instead of look over here.
There you are. There you're not.
Yeah.
There you are.
So
there you're not.
Apple needs to put a camera right on top.
I agree.
When you hold it
I'm going to submit
horizontal.
that as a request.
Let's do it. And then what if they do it? And we can be like, hey, that was our idea.
Well, I've had 3 others that I've tweeted them and they haven't
It didn't
done anything
happen?
yet. So
Well, maybe
I'm
this
waiting
one.
for my royalty check, by the way.
This was very last minute planned, so no makeup. And
Hat,
but
even.
I did just get my hair done, so I don't have any
Look at
gray
that.
roots.
Look at how glorious she looks.
My roots are not
so
gray.
good.
Woo! Okay, so I thought it would be fun to do something a little different with our Bee Free Friday. This is our first one going into November, which is kind of the kickoff of the holiday season.
Yep.
And I thought we could just do a little Q&A, so you're stuck with both of us and you just don't hear one of us. And then Monica said, let's do a video and not just a recording, so here we go.
So here we go. We're going to just post it and make it fun, and
That's right.
why not?
Okay, I've got 2 questions for you.
Okay.
All right. The first question is, what are 2 things that you would say, looking back over 2018, that you're most grateful for?
2 things. One is I am super grateful for God's faithfulness, and I think I've talked about it in a couple of Bee Free Fridays. He just really carried us through a really difficult season, and some things were answered the way we had hoped and some weren't, but his hand was still very evident, and I can see he never let us go. He was always close by, and just I'm so grateful for that.
Can you believe it's been a year?
No.
Over?
God, no.
That's crazy.
No, I feel like it was just January.
Okay, so God's gratefulness. What else?
And then the second thing is we sold our house, and that was a huge prayer request. Like, our house in North Carolina finally sold, and so that just was a yoke that we needed lifted, and it's gone.
That's so awesome. I wish we could sell our house.
You
Come
will.
on, Jesus!
You will one day.
That's okay. That's right. In His right timing. I just have to tell myself that.
Yeah.
Okay, so if I were to ask myself the same question,
yes.
okay, the first thing that I would say I'm very grateful for is UGA football system. Because my
Praise hands.
Yes.
There's probably a long podcast episode just on this coming at some
One
point.
day there might even be a book. But Ryland recently suffered an injury, and I've been overwhelmed with how great UGA football and the staff there have been to him through the process, and just been faithful and committed to him. That's been tremendous. I even say whether he never even steps another foot on a football field, he's being taken care of better than we could have ever imagined. So that would be number 1.
Such a gift.
Number 2, I would say I am grateful for the diagnosis of inattentive ADHD and that medication that can go along with that. Because, and I don't think that Addie would mind that I'm talking about this, because I think that she knows it's had such a tremendous influence on her life and impact. There's a precious little baby girl in the background, so sorry, but she's so adorable. But that has just revolutionized her life, and has put her in a place for so much better success this year, and she is having such a fantastic year. And I won't say it's all to do with that. I think there's a lot of maturation and maturity that's gone into it, but totally
But if
grateful.
you can have a helping hand to just carry you over the threshold of the hardest part, what a gift. And I think that's maybe something that we elaborate on in an upcoming episode to encourage people, because I know some people personally that have struggled, and I've shared just so that they would be encouraged to not like immediately discount that as an option.
That's exactly right.
So maybe that's something we talk about later.
I think we might. That might be another book one day.
There you go.
Because I'm a huge advocate now for kids who struggle and get mislabeled and described, right? So okay, those are my 2 things that I'm grateful for. Okay, if you had to say you had one kind of Achilles heel this year, just one of those things that
just one.
What have your shackles been? Last night I was praying to Jesus, and I'm like, Jesus, we need delivered from the lion's den. We need to be delivered from the fire. I'm not Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, or Daniel. I just kept going. I'm not Paul. I need to be rescued from jail.
I am weak.
I am weak.
I'm not a rock. Okay, this is a brutally honest answer. I have just had an issue with food. I mean, truly, and I'm laughing about it right now because the holidays are coming up, so I don't know that I'm going to help free myself from this.
It's going to be a 2019 resolution. It's a 2018 recognition.
Yes.
It's a 2019 resolution.
Listen, this is an up and down cycle that resembles a roller coaster.
Yeah.
And it's not that I'm eating super poorly. I have a really good portion control and calorie count. It's just the quality of stuff that I'm eating is not what's best for me.
Have you come back to Cheez-Its?
No, I've not gone back to
Wow.
Cheez-Its, but it for me and in the way my body responds to stuff, it is the handful of
Yep.
things here and there that in the like any normal person could probably handle, and my body just
You're
can't
not
handle
normal.
it. I'm not normal.
She just
and
admitted it, people. She's not normal. I keep looking over here. I'm sorry. I keep looking over here.
there's people around, so we're like just videoing
I know.
in public. It's great. And we're
then
gonna take
I
a show
know-
on the road.
I know they know we're recording, and they just walk right down here. I mean, there's like hundreds of feet of places that people could be standing right here.
We draw
they're
them in.
recording. Let's walk down there.
Let's go see what's going
Let's
on.
make them feel weird.
We're not famous. So yeah, so like I'm active and for the most part doing good, but I know what my body likes and
I
what it
know.
doesn't, and I like what my body doesn't like, and that's therein the rub.
It's so hard. It's so hard. That is forever an issue, right? Like,
Yeah.
I could easily say that's an Achilles heel for me. I think for me this year, I would just say unanswered prayer. Like that just keeps seem popping up into my life a little bit where, I'm never going to quit believing, but man, it can make believing a little hard.
Yeah.
Right? Like I have been thinking about Job a lot lately and how, I mean, gosh, how did he remain faithful? And
And even his spouse was encouraging him
to
to
give
not.
up. Yeah, and I don't. My spouse isn't even encouraging me to give up, and I still want to give up
Right,
sometimes.
right.
So I would say, yeah, that has got to be. That's got to be one of those things. It's just been recurrent for me. Prayer life and the faithfulness of God, and even when it looks different.
Yeah, I think there's a song about unanswered prayer
Is
and
there?
thanking God for them. The Garth Brooks song. I don't know. Maybe in hindsight.
Maybe I
One
need to go
time.
listen to that song again. I don't know. When we first started listening to that song, it was, Chris sent it to me, and we did cassettes for each other, and he made a cassette
Mixtapes?
for mixtapes,
Oh my
and he did a
gosh.
cassette for me, and that was one of the songs because he was engaged before me. And
Ooh,
so he
secrets
was-
revealed.
and so that was kind of his unanswered prayer. Thank God for unanswered prayer. He'll die when he listens to this. He gets a little testy when I talk about that.
The secrets or the skeletons are out of the closet just in time for the Halloween season.
I know. Aw. Okay, so do you have any questions that you can think of that you would ask?
I would say in the midst of, I know there are a lot of unanswered prayers and that things maybe have been answered in ways that you weren't hoping, but where can you see, I know you talked about UJ football, but just in general, like personally, where can you see that God has answered things that maybe you haven't asked?
Oh gosh, you should have told me about that.
I know, I'm
question
sorry, I
before
totally
we
just
got
put
it.
you on
That's a really
on the
deep
spot.
one. Well, I love how you can look back and see how there was an unanswered prayer, and you didn't understand it, and then you get down the road a little bit and you look back. And so, like, one of those things I would say is not selling our house. Man, I would love to get it sold and move into a new stage of life, but at the time, I didn't really understand why he wasn't selling it. And then something happened, and now we've got some friends that are living in the basement, and I can just see how there was a bigger plan, and that is even bringing joy to my family. There's so much better coming out of it this way than if we had sold the house and moved into something different. And I will say, even in all the things that we've gone through with, with just Addie over the last year, and even Ryland and all the adversities that we've had lately, there are lots of God winks in the hard moments. So, like, I can see a lot of silver linings, and I can see him in the process, even though it's not necessarily going the way I would hoped it would go.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. It's so good to be able to acknowledge those even even when the rest are so big and unanswered.
I think those are the things that just kind of keep you hopeful.
Yeah.
Because you can't denounce the entire thing. It just isn't exactly what you wanted.
Right.
So, but you have to believe two things I keep coming back to is that if God is for us, and his plans are for us to prosper and for not to harm us, and that all things work together for good. It may not be our good, it might just be the good of the kingdom, but if you can just hold into those promises and you can buy into that and have faith in that and know that in the end it is all going to come together, it can get you through those moments. And
Absolutely.
it definitely has done that for me.
Absolutely. Okay, one more question I have for you.
Okay.
As Thanksgiving is rounding the corner and you are a wizard with anything culinary, what's your go-to dish for Thanksgiving?
Oh, sweet potato casserole.
Can we post that? Do you have a recipe?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Okay, we're going to post
Absolutely.
Sarah's sweet potato casserole recipe
Yes.
on the website for this Be Free Friday.
What's yours going to be? Cranberry out of a can?
No, you know what I did? Hey, that's the best cranberry. A jellied cranberry is my favorite. Not because it's easy. That's just tradition from my family. Okay, no, I always make a pumpkin cheesecake.
You do?
Well,
Every
why
year.
have
Have you not ever given me a piece of that?
Well, it's usually gone by the time all the Steelies get done with it.
That would be
So
true.
I'll post that. I'll post my pumpkin cheesecake recipe.
Are y'all going over there on Thanksgiving Day?
We haven't, I think, we usually do, but Greg and I have been batting around an alternative idea, which includes all of them.
Because if
but just
it's on
doing something
Friday, I
different.
might be over on Friday.
I'll
'Cause
save
we
you a
land on
slice.
Friday. And so I'm like, I've got to find somewhere to go to get leftovers.
I'll save you a slice of cheesecake, and
Yeah.
you say, well, you won't make your sweet potato because you'll be gone.
No, we're doing a luau on Thanksgiving for our Thanksgiving
Sarah's going to
meal.
be in Hawaii.
On the beach, hopefully. We'll find out on Wednesday for sure. if
In
we're
the name
going.
of Jesus.
In the name of Jesus. I claim it in the name of Jesus. Okay, I hope that
All
y'all
right.
have enjoyed this podcast. I hope that it will bring a little smile and a little encouragement, and just
Yeah.
know that, we're just walking real life also.
Literally walking up a mountain.
Yeah.
In real life. In our camo sweatpants and
That's
gray
right. Hey,
tops.
so let's reverse the recording real quick and pan over so they can see how pretty it is up here.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Can you do that in the
I
midst?
used to be able to do that
Yeah.
in the
Where's
previous
your thingy?
update. Well, here, we'll just do it this way.
Yeah, just-
All right, here we go. We are up on the top of Kennesaw Mountain in Kennesaw, Georgia, and that's like
Downtown over
all
that
the downtown
way.
area, and yeah, it's just a glorious, beautiful day.
Glorious day
So
that
anyway,
the Lord has made.
let us rejoice and be glad.
As my kids would say, don't get all spiritual, Mom.
Everything's spiritual. All right, we love
Love
y'all.
you guys. Bye.
Bye.